Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Bricker Boom. And if you ever had crab legs, my god, they're delicious. Well, today, we're gonna put those crab legs to work and see if we can beat the game Pokemon FireRed with only a Krabby. If you look at the stats here, Krabby is a Pokemon with a jacked up attack and a pretty solid defense. From a special perspective, well, we're gonna try our best not to rely on that whatsoever. Take a look at Krabby's moveset. It's not the best, but it's by far the worst. By level up, we have access to most of the moves that we're probably going to end up using throughout the duration of the run, and then we'll of course pick up a few TMs for later battles. To take a look at the few rules that we have in place, we can only use Krabby in battle, but other Pokemon can and will be used for HM use. We can't use items in battle, but items outside of battle are completely fine. We also allow rare candies, but we do try every battle multiple times before going that route. More often than not, I try a battle dozens of times because I want to make sure it's not bad RNG on my part, and sometimes you can get a cool result by being stubborn. Looking at our Krabby, we have a naughty nature, which raises its attack, but lowers its special defense. That's fine with me, given the fact that it's already a physical attacker. That just makes it better. If we had something that focused on the special, whether it be special attack or defense, I don't think that it would necessarily help any, since it's already pretty poor in that stat range anyway. The ability that we have is Shell Armor, which means that we can't have critical hits dealt against us, and we're going to be giving the rival Bulbasaur, so that means that he's going to have Razor Leaf at some point or another. So honestly, this is best case scenario, and the fact that we can also still crit them. Since we give the rival Bulbasaur, we already know that that's going to be the hardest for us to face. Now, I will say that the rival does kind of get the shaft in the final fight, given the fact that it has Solar Beam and it's a setup move in comparison to Charizard and Blastoise getting something better. This still seems like it would be the hardest for us to go against. I could also see the argument, though, being made against Blastoise, given the fact that our Water-type moves would also only do neutral damage. Anyway, lab rival time. We only have Bubble at the moment, and it's doing a pitiful amount of damage. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that we end up going down to the rival without too much of a problem. Bubble isn't great, but we do make sure to go ahead and head through the beginning game stuff and through Viridian Forest. The important thing is to level up as much as we can to get to level 12, where we can learn Vice Grip. After clearing out the forest, we also take out the junior trainer in Brock's gym. With the level ups that we've got on our way, we now have Vice Grip, and then we run back to fight the rival fight. I know that it's adding a lot of extra steps, but I don't want to lose this early game EXP. We open with Vice Grip, taking the Pidgey to yellow as Sand Attack connects and we take it down. Next is Bulbasaur, and we take it to yellow, only getting a weak tackle before taking it down next turn. After that, we can head back to Brock, which, given our type, I don't think we'll have too much of an issue with. Brock first sends out Geodude, and we open up with Bubble, taking it to yellow as it uses Tackle. The next turn we can use another Bubble, and it also goes down. We level up in the process, and then Brock sends out Onix as it uses Tackle. We use Bubble to take it to yellow as we get hit with another Tackle before we take it down, winning a pretty easy first gym badge. Along the way to Cerulean, it's at this time I'd like to remind you to subscribe to the channel. At the time of writing and recording, I'm sitting at 965 subscribers, only 35 away from that first 1,000. On a side note, I did all my fall cleaning and hung up some extra sound pads early, so I'm hoping to get some extra recording done sooner rather than later. We grab the Dome Fossil and then take a look at our feet and punch powers. Despite having multiple legs, we can't learn Mega Kick and we can't punch anything, so that's out. We have two options ahead of us. Given how bulky we are, I feel alright enough with the choice to fight Misty, so let's see how we do. Worst case scenario, if we're not ready to fight Misty, well, truthfully, I don't know if we'll be able to fight the rival either. He's got super effective moves against us now, and one of them does hit pretty hard, and he also likes to spam sleep attacks, but we'll see what happens. Misty first sends out Staryu, and we open up with Vice Grip as Staryu uses Harden, making our Vice Grip take it to about half. Water Pulse does a good bit of damage, and we take it to red. Misty heals up next turn, and another Vice Grip takes it to about half again. Water Pulse brings us well below half and confuses us, but we push past that to take it to red once more. Next turn, Water Pulse takes us to 1 HP, and we finish it off. Then Starmie comes out and immediately knocks us out with Swift. That's fair. So we do try this battle a couple times, but unfortunately I just don't think that we're going to be ready for it. So what we do is we go ahead and go to the rival. So Pidgeotto is up first, and we get hit with Tackle right away, but take it to red with a critical hit and then finish it off next turn. Next up is Bulbasaur, and we can take it out with a single critical hit, which I have to imagine is needed. Abra can't do much of anything, so it goes down to yet another crit. Last up is Rattata, and we can take it down for a fairly simple rival victory. With that, we can go ahead and go through the routes in the north, taking on the trainers. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we gain some levels coming up, because not only do we have Misty, we have Surge with his speedy electric Pokemon, and then right after that, we have Erica. By the time we get to Erica, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to outspeed her Mons, just I'm not sure if we'll be able to one-shot them. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because we have to go back and see if we can beat Misty now that we have some extra levels under our belt. The battle at this point starts off with Staryu still outspeeding us but doing far less damage with Water Pulse, and we can now one-shot it with Vice Grip, getting a level up in the process. We opt to learn Stomp since it does a good bit damage more than Vice Grip and has that added flinch chance. After that, Starmie is out and we get hit with Water Pulse to almost half and take it to about half ourselves with Stomp. Water Pulse takes us to 13 HP, but due to no confusion, we can take it out for a victory, finally. Now, I've never seen a Crab actually stomp someone, but I'm happy that it was doing decent enough damage. Now, given the fact that we had trouble with Misty, and probably will with the upcoming gym, we go ahead and fight just about every trainer that's on board the ship, and then it's finally time to fight the rival once more. Pidgeotto's up first, and we outspeed and use Stomp to one-shot it. Ivysaur is next, and we stomp it to red, and it uses Sleep Powder. Great. Vine Whip does a lot of damage, and 2 turns, it ends up taking us down. Okay, just give me a second. We either need Sleep Powder to miss, or Stomp to crit, or flinch, and about 4 attempts in, it just opts to Vine Whip at the get-go, instead of just attacking, so we can take it down with a lot of damage done, but not too much of a hassle. From there, we can take out the Raticate, and then Kadabra takes us out. The rival on the ship is usually quite easy, but the very next attempt, Stomp gets the flinch against Ivysaur, and then Kadabra misses, so it's not the victory I expected, but I also didn't expect to lose a dozen times. We give the captain a back rub, and then it's time to fight Surge. Good news is, if we can't beat him at this level, we have plenty of options. There's still a few trainers to fight to the right of the city, and then on the way to the Dark Cave, there's quite a few we can face. If we're still not confident, we can come back even later than that if needed. Yeah, this isn't even a question. We can one-shot Voltorb and Pikachu without too much of a problem, but the Raichu is able to wreck us from full HP, or even if we've lost a little bit from the Voltorb. So we do exactly what I thought we're going to do and go towards the cave, wiping out the trainer along the way. This way we're still making progress in the game, but also getting some much-needed levels. Since we got a couple levels on this route, I do want to go ahead and see what happens if we try to fight Surge again. With Voltorb, we use Stomp and take it out with one shot. Pikachu is out, and we use Mudshot to take it down and avoid the static proc. Last is Raichu, and it starts with Double Team, and Mudshot takes it out to finally let us move on. With that gym out of the way, we have a good bit of travel ahead of us. On a personal note, I know I said this before, but on the day of recording this, I have gotten all the fall cleaning done. I go on a 7-day vacation in 3 weeks from 3 days ago, and with the kiddo in school, I should be able to get a few challenges done that week. I recently got a request for a Corefish run, so I want to get on that along with a Grumpig run that was requested of me a little while ago. Speaking of requested challenge runs, do you have any runs that you'd like to see me do? The easiest way to request is definitely here in the comments, or Discord, or Twitter, all of which are going to have links down below. But enough, stroking my own ego. Once we get through the Dark Cave, we can go to Celadon. Now, given the fact that Giovanni has some ground types, that is absolutely who I plan to face first. Giovanni starts with sending out Onyx, and we open up with Water Pulse despite our poor special, It still annihilates the rock snake. Rhyhorn is next, and we repeat the process, taking it down in the one shot as well. Last up is Kangaskhan, and it uses Fake Out for some chip damage. Tail Whip connects, and we use Stomp, taking it to not quite half, as Bite does a good bit of damage. We can take it to red, and then we get taken below half before taking out the Kangaskhan, allowing us to move on. After that is all said and done, we head to Erica, and I feel decent about our chances, but at the end of the day, she is still a grass trainer. Victory Bell's up first, and we open with Stomp, taking it out in one shot, though I'm not sure if the crit was needed, to be honest. Tangela's out, and we use Stomp to take it to yellow, so now I'm pretty sure the crit was needed, and Poison Powder misses. Erica heals up, and we take it back to red before taking it out. After that, it's Vileplume, and we take it below half, and Giga Drain wrecks us all the way down to 3 HP. I'd figured that we'd lost here when Erica is healed up so much, but on the next move, Vileplume flinches, and that allows us to take it down next turn, winning a very narrow victory. So after seeing that Victory Bell is the only thing that went down in one turn, I'm fairly certain that without the crit, we would have lost. And the flinch. You know, I realized I attempt these battles multiple times if bad RNG makes us lose, but if bad RNG makes us win, I'm gonna take it. Anyway, we grab a flyer, and then we head back to Lavender Town. This battle's usually pretty laughable, but between Sleep Powder and Razor Leaf, or whatever move he has at this point, let's just take a look. Pidgeotto is first, and we get hit with Quick Attack and take it down with Stomp. Ivysaur is next, so we use Stomp to take it to a Sliver. And then, yeah, Sleep Powder connects. After that, the remainder of my fears come true, and it takes us out in one turn. I want to explain damage ranges here to you. Damage ranges, every move that you do, unless it's a set damage move, has either a low roll, medium, or high roll with some damage that it can do in between. With the second battle, it starts out the exact same, except that apparently we dealt the lower end of the damage range, so this time Ivysaur actually goes down in one shot. Gyarados pops out and we stomp it, taking it to about half and flinching it, then taking it to a Sliver, flinching it again so we can knock it out. Growlithe is out, and we swap over to Mudshot. Despite the Intimidation drop, we actually take it out in one turn. Last but not least is Kadabra, who will absolutely be a problem down the road, but for now, it goes down in one shot, letting us move on. From there, we have a bit of travel, and while we're traveling, I wanted to take a look at Krabby as a whole. Overall, we've struggled against 3 of 4 gyms that we've gone against, kinda, and a couple of the rival fights. The special defense being low is typically what ends up wrecking our attempts, and just the fact that, for Erica's example, she had super effective moves. Overall, though, I'm still really enjoying using Krabby as a Pokemon. It's a fun Pokemon with a decent moveset, and it hits like a truck. I think the latter half of the game won't be too bad given type advantages. We've basically, as far as I can think of for the foreseeable little bit of future here, I think we've got past the worst of it, but time will only tell. I typically try to write this as I go along with the game. This way I can kind of make this a bit more, I guess, realistic or real today. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because we do have a good old-fashioned round of Safari Zone Scramble to go to. We definitely want to make sure to grab the Quick Claw this time around because our speed is okay. Oh, hey, it's a Paris, our first catch, and then a Doduo. Anyway, as we go on through the final battles, especially with Alakazam, I think the chance to outspeed will be huge for us. Some eggs run from us, and we go ahead and equip the Quick Claw now before we forget. I am horrible about that. Grabbing the Teeth and Surf, we head back to finish this particular round of Safari Zone Scramble by catching an Execute, an Nidoran Male, and an Nidorino. This is going quite well. Maybe if we find a Chansey, this would be our day to catch it. Or so I thought until Execute took about 11 balls to catch. After that, a few more Pokemon run for us, and that's that for this particular round. I really want to catch a Chansey with one ball, one try, because even in my Pokemon Stadium moveset run, it still took a good 30 plus minutes to catch just one of them. Now that that's over, we're going to go ahead and try our hand at fighting Koga. Also, if you hear screaming, I apologize. There are people outside enjoying the nice weather like nerds. Coughing is first, and we use Stomp, taking it down, though once again, I don't know if the crit was needed, but probably not. Coughing isn't the tankiest of tanks. Muck is next and goes down to not quite half and uses Minimize, so we can actually deal more damage with Stomp, so we knock it out next turn. The next Coughing is out and we use Stomp, taking it to yellow and flinching it before taking it out. Last up is Wheezing, and we don't take it to half, and it hits a smoke screen. And then we take it to yellow and flinch it, but then we take it to a Sliver and Koga heals up. We can take it back to yellow, but then Sludge connects, hits for a decent bit of damage, poisons us, and we take it to a Sliver, but then Koga has one more potion, heals up, and we go down not too long after. Ultimately, a lot of the battles go like this, and we can usually make it to Wheezing, but not so fun fact for us, if we don't take out the Coughings in one shot, they sometimes just decide to blow up. So, rather than try our luck over and over, because I already did, we go ahead and head over to Silphco. We have plenty of trainers that we can level up on, but we'll definitely need to take a look at that rival fight inside to see if we can take him out at our current level. Pidgeot hits Wing Attack, and we take it to not quite half. It takes us to not quite half with another move. We take it to a Sliver, and it takes us down below half before going down, and we get a level up. Venusaur's next, and we use Stomp, taking it to, once again, not quite half and flinching it before taking it to red and then getting absolutely ragdolled by Razor Leaf. So, we go ahead and spend a good portion of time going around the building, leveling up on the trainers, grabbing the vitamins that we need. We get some much needed levels there and then go to challenge the rival once more. We take Pidgeot down below half and get hit with a soft wing attack and then we knock it out. Venusaur is next and we take it out with a critical hit, which, thank goodness. Gyarados is out, and we do about a quarter, and it does bite, and get taken to 49 HP before knocking it out. Growlithe is next, and we use Mud Shot and knock it out. Last up is Alakazam, and it uses Future Sight, and we use Stomp, taking it to yellow, and then knocking it out next turn. After that, we can do a quick heal up and then challenge Giovanni. Nidorino's first, and we're doing not quite half with Water Pulse, so we swap to Mud Shot and take it down next turn. Nidoqueen is out, and we use Mud Shot, taking it to yellow, as Double Kick does very little, so we swap over to Water Pulse, taking it out. After that, it's Kangaskhan, and Stomp takes it to half as it uses Rage, and then we take it out with a crit. Rhyhorn is his last Pokemon, and we take it down with a Water Pulse, winning us a pretty simple battle. After that, we go ahead and go to Sabrina, who starts off with Kadabra. We use Stomp and take it down in one turn. Surprisingly, we hit Venomoth, and it survives, and Sabrina heals up, and we take it back to red, and Sabrina heals up again, and then we take it down. Alakazam is next and takes us all the way down to 7 HP with a single Psychic, but thankfully goes down in one shot, and that wins us the gym battle. We head to Koga again, and somehow it's going worse. I'm gonna just show the footage here, but we did try these particular battles again. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem to be in the cards for us to win at this level, especially with how much poison is actually wrecking us. I don't think we'll need a full 5 levels like I normally do, so I just go ahead and level up 3 times before trying again. Even at these mid levels here, 3 levels can actually make a pretty huge difference depending on how many stat gains you're getting. At this level, we take Coughing to a Sliver, but Koga heals up. But since we flinch it, no damage taken as we take it out. Next up is Muck, and we take it below half, flinching it as well, before taking it down. Alright. Next is the Coughing, and we take it to red as we get hit with Smokescreen as Koga heals up, and then take it down next turn. Wheezing is last, and we use Stomp, taking it to half and flinching it again, before taking it out with a critical hit. Honestly, had I had that luck in the previous attempts, I probably wouldn't have needed to level up. But at the end of the day, we've still won, and we can go ahead, head to Cinnabar, go through the mansion and whatnot, and then head to fight Blaine. Growlithe is first, and we Mud Shot it and take it down. Against the Ponyta, we miss our Mud Shot, getting hit with Fire Blast and then taking it out. With Rapidash, we take it to red, get hit with Fire Blast, and spend the next few turns basically wasting Blaine's healing potions before knocking it out. Arcanine is next, and we hit it with Stomp, flinching it, and then taking it down with Mud Shot the next turn. This took about a dozen tries, but once again, I just needed the luck to properly line up. If I did a single mud shot, that would take him within healing range. Stomp obviously wasn't doing enough. What I needed was the flinch from Stomp and then take it out with Mud Blast. With that, it's time to try our hand at the final gym leader. So we're going to fight Giovanni. Rhyhorn is first, so we open up with Water Pulse, taking it out in one shot. Dugtrio is out and does outspeed us, slashing us as we take it down in one shot. Nidoqueen is out and we use Mud Shot, taking it to red as it hits us with Earthquake for solid enough damage. Giovanni heals up and we use Water Pulse, taking it right below half and then knocking it out with another Water Pulse. Nidoking is out and we use Mud Shot, taking it down in one turn. Rhyhorn is last and we hit it with Water Pulse, taking it down and grabbing the badge. Alright, we have one more rival battle before the Elite Four, and guess what? It goes horribly. We can typically make it to Venusaur, which isn't that hard, given the fact that it's the second Pokemon that he sends out, but Venusaur is able to take us out every single turn. Even if we end up moving first due to the Quick Claw, we can't take it down in one turn, so with no other choice we end up taking some levels, and even then it still takes us a long time. At level 75, Pidgeot goes to yellow and hits Wing Attack before going down. When Venusaur comes out, it uses the first turn buffing for growth, the second turn being flinched, and then doesn't survive a third turn. Rhyhorn is next and goes down in one shot, and then with the Gyarados, all it does is spend a few turns using Leer before it goes down. Growlithe is out and it goes down to a single Surf. Last is Alakazam, and we swap to Stomp as Disable misses, and then we can take it down to finally win this battle. Making our way through Victory Road, I'm honestly not sure what our chances will be. I feel like Bruno will be pretty easy, given the fact that it's Bruno and we don't have any glaring type disadvantages, but for the most part, I think that's about it. Our stronger physical attacks can't touch Agatha, but it's time to fight Lorelei, but we also have to abandon Stomp. While the flinch chance is nice, going into the Elite Four, I think that we need to bank less on a percentile chance and more on just raw power. Lorelei first sends out Dugong and we open with Return, taking it to yellow as it sets up Hail. Lorelei's Cloyster likes to waste some time with turns with Protect, but we're able to take it down after a few. Slowbro is next and we take it below half as it only sets up Calm Mind before going down. Jinx is a one-shot, and we can take Lapras down to right around half as it hits us with Ice Beam. And we take it to red as Ice Beam takes us down to 26 HP. Lorelei ends up healing up, but we get a high roll on the damage for our next two attacks, barely scraping by and winning this battle. This took 13 tries, but hey, it's time to move on to Bruno. Onix is first, and we open up with Surf, taking it down in one shot because obviously. Hitmonchan is next, so we use Return, taking it out with a critical hit. Hitmonlee is next, and we continue with Return, taking it down. Next is Machamp, and we take it to almost red as Rock Tomb connects and the Berry activates before we take it down. Last out is his last Onix, and Surf takes it out to win us a pretty easy battle, letting us move on to Agatha. Now this time around, Agatha is the one that's proving to be a good bit of trouble, and we're going to talk briefly about the move Hypnosis. Hypnosis is a 60% accuracy move, and yet still somehow manages to connect every single time we face her. After we get put to sleep, every single battle, Nightmare is usually set up, and between that and the fact that it still has a normal attack to use, it doesn't take us long to go down. This in it of itself is a nightmare, because it takes us all the way to level 80. At level 80, we take Gengar to almost half as it doesn't attack and then goes down. Next up is Golbat, and it's a one-shot. Arbok is out, goes to yellow with Return before going down. The next Gengar is out, and for the first time at this level misses not once, but twice with Hypnosis, so that allows us to take it down. Finally, Haunter is out, goes to yellow, misses, gets healed, and goes down without too much of a fuss. Naturally, after I complain about it, Hypnosis doesn't touch me once. Time to fight Lance. Lance starts off with Gyarados, and we're able to do some pretty decent damage to us if it chooses... Lance starts off with Gyarados, and it's able to do some pretty decent damage to us if it chooses to, as we use Return and it uses Bite. After that, Gyarados goes down. Next up is Dragonair, and we use Ice Beam, taking it to red and freezing it. Lance heals up and we use Return before taking it down. The next Dragonair goes to yellow, and Outrage is doing a lot of damage before it goes down. Next up is Dragonite, and we take it to yellow before Outrage takes us out. We do try this battle dozens of times, but we can't outspeed the Aerodactyl either, so even if we make it to that, we get taken down. I honestly can't think of many runs that require us to level up against the Elite Four this much, but this seems to be one of them. I always reference it because it was so painful, but I remember the Pikachu and the Eevee run both having me level up. I want to say all the way to level 100, if not very close. After a while, we try again. Gyarados is first and goes down to 2 returns, and the first Dragonair goes down to a single return. The second Dragonair goes to a Sliver and smacks us for solid damage before going down next turn. Dragonite gets frozen by Ice Beam, so it goes down next turn. And then finally, Aerodactyl does not get the stat boost off Ancient Power, so it goes down to finally let us move on to the final rival battle. I gotta admit, after the last couple Elite Four fights, I'm concerned how this will go. And I can tell that at this time I was also getting sleepy because I was script writing again a little past midnight, and there are some spelling mistakes on this script. The rival first sends out Pidgeot, and it goes down to 1 shot. Next up is Venusaur, and we take it to half as it only uses Solar Beam, but again, like I said at the beginning, since it's a setup move, we can take it down without being hit. Due to Quick Claw, we outspeed Alakazam and can one-shot it with Return, and take out Rhydon with Surf. Gyarados we could take to about half as Hydro Pump hits, and then we can take it out. Last is Arcanine, who goes to red with Surf, and the rival spends a lot of time healing before going down, winning us the battle and the run, 17 attempts in, because we needed that Quick Claw to activate, otherwise Alakazam wrecked our hopes and dreams every night. But anyway, that run was a lot more fun than I thought that it would be, and I really enjoyed getting to play with a Pokemon with such a beefed up attack stat. I'm not 100% sure what I'll be doing next, but I think it's going to be one of the runs that I mentioned prior in this video, unless we somehow hit 1,000, and then I'm going to do the special one that I have planned. Once again, thank you all for the ideas that you have been giving me. The comments definitely do help, not only for algorithm purposes, but also there's 1,000 Pokemon plus in the Pokedex. I'm bound to forget one, but with the FireRed Extended that I use sometimes, we're able to go ahead and test every single Pokemon that is available in the Pokedex. I hope you all enjoyed this run, and, as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!